Good morning, my name is Mila and today we're going to talk about conditional sentences part 3. The aims of this presentation are the following. First, we are going to introduce 5 conditional sentences. We are going to have a look at the rules of formation. Then, we are going to concentrate on the uses, that is, when do we use 5 conditional sentences. And finally, we are going to provide some practice of their use. Let's have a look at the uses of third conditional. Remember to use third conditional sentences to talk about past conditions and the results that never happened, or to speculate about past situations and what could have or have not happened. Also, to excuse your actions and criticize other people. And finally, to express regrets. Let's have a look at some examples. If we had taken good care of the pest, the crop would have thrived in better conditions. Here we have an example of third conditional. We have the first part, the if clause, with the past perfect tense, had taken. So, if we had taken good care of the pest, and now we have the second part of the clause, the result clause. The crop would have thrived in better conditions. Notice that in the result clause we use would have plus the past participle, thrive in this situation. Here come more examples. If you had studied more, you wouldn't have failed the exam. In this example, you can be, for example, criticizing someone. You say, well, if you had studied more, you wouldn't have failed the exam. Or, if I had known you were coming, I would have picked you at the airport. But unfortunately, I didn't know you were coming, so I never got to the airport. Here comes another example. Use the past perfect in the if clause. And remember to use would have past plus participle in the result clause. Also remember that you can start the sentence with either the if clause or the result clause. Remember that the verb tenses are fixed within each clause. This means that you cannot mix them. And now we're going to have a look at one situation where you can practice third conditional. Imagine we are in the year 2008. Luke and Sue, that you can see here, they are quite worried about climate change. So they are thinking of taking some kind of action to help out. Let's have a look at what they say. We are destroying the planet. We should be doing something. We say, hey, we've got to do something now. Now, below you can find some of the things that they think that would help slow climate change and global warming. Some actions they could take. So, in the first one, we see someone who says, recycle everything you can. In number 2, we have a penguin talking about wind power. Number 3, we have a landfill. Number 4, it's a traffic jam. Number 5 is a penguin, again, he exclaims, if you're cold, put some more clothes on, instead of using so much air conditioning. And then number 6, we have a picture of an endangered species, the Iberian lynx. So now, imagine we are in the year 2018. Unfortunately, 10 years have passed and we haven't been able to put an end to climate change and global warming. So now, I want you to write 6 sentences expressing regrets about what actions could have been taken to avoid the current situation. For example, if you remember the first picture, you could use the following example. If we had recycled our rubbish, we would not have polluted the earth so much. So now, think about some of the possible situations or sentences that you could write. Here are some of the possible answers. Possible answers for number 2 If we had used more wind energy, we wouldn't have used up other sources of energy. For caption number 3, if we hadn't thrown toxic chemicals in landfills, we wouldn't have polluted drinking water. Let's continue. Number 4, if we hadn't used so many cars, we wouldn't have emitted so much carbon dioxide. And the last one, if we hadn't used so much air conditioning, we would have been more environmentally friendly. And just one more. If we had taken care of the Iberian lynx, they wouldn't have disappeared from the Iberian Peninsula. And that is all for today. Thank you very much for your attention.